Wow. Okay. Okie dokie. Here we go. So I am Shannon Perry, and I'm getting my screens sorted out here, but I discovered Optavia through one of my dearest friends that I literally owe my life to, Lene Rogers, and most of you guys know her and adore her because she is the bestest in the whole wide world. And she helped me see that one decision could change my life. And um, she kind of pursued me. I mean, because we were close, we were room moms together, our boys were in school together in kindergarten. And I just saw her, y'all. I saw her showing up so different when she discovered Optavia. And she didn't really tell me like what it was. She was kind of evasive and a little vague. But what happened in um, almost a year's time just to watch her transform was remarkable. I mean, coming from where we were, which was kind of in the mud, like we were kind of in the mud together, three jobs and managing kiddos with a little bit more needs than the average kiddo. It was a little different. So I remember where I was and I tried to doing prepping for this talk. I wanted to just kind of sit in where I was before, and it's a little hard. It's a little hard to sit there knowing, I mean, it's cool because we now know like what we know now that there's so much hope, but I tried to just like sit in where I was almost 7 years ago, and it was hard. It was really hard. I was not in a dramatic rock bottom part of my life. There were no like flashing lights and no big wake up call. I was just meh. I was just like in ordinary day. I felt powerless. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, stressed to the point of just kind of numbing out. I was numbing out with other tools. Food, of course, was a great numbing tool for me, or so I thought it was. The alcohol of the weekends, the just kind of the living in that fat suit that I felt was like this didn't feel like me. It didn't feel like that authentic life that I really desired for myself, that I saw in my mind's eye, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. And so that physical representation, of my body, um, was like I was just carrying around a lot of broken dreams, a lot of failed expectations for myself, and a life that felt like I was just happening to me instead of for me, right? I wasn't just unhappy with my body. I was frustrated. I was frustrated. Like, why couldn't I just get it together? I knew what I was supposed to do, right? We all know what we're supposed to do. Um, and I did lots of workouts and lots of diets, lots of programs. But it was that one day, that one decision when Lene and I talked, and she's like, "Girl, when are you going to do this?" And I said yes. And so that's the day I took my power back. And taking back your power is, I mean, one of my grain coaches, Casey Smith, always says it. She's like, when you take your power back, like anything is possible, right? So, and like I know a lot of us have a story, right? We may not know, we may not have it uncovered all the way just yet, but it's just hope filled. Like our stories are full of hope now that we know what we know, that we don't ever have to diet again. We don't ever have to, no offense to any point counter people, but I counted a lot of points and it taught me nothing. And I actually pulled out my little, I had a I had this little charm that I was so proud of that I got at a point counting meeting. And it told me I lost 10% of my body fat, but then I put it right back on. right? So this little charm, which was a great physical representation of like, you did something, but then it just went right back on because I didn't know how to keep it off, right? There was no real plan in place. It was just go to these meetings, take off all your clothes, all your jewelry, and sit on the scale, stand on the scale and weigh in. But that just wasn't cutting it. It was a broken system. It was felt like I was on a hamster wheel of doubt, and it felt very, very degrade. You know, like I there was lots of shame and lots of disbelief in myself. Like I lost that self-trust. And then, I would continue on that self-sabotage cycle. So sitting in those feelings was really, really tough. But here's the truth. We know the weight loss is not just about the scale. It's about finally stepping into that person that you were always meant to be, right? When we ditch the fear of failure or fear of success or fear of whatever it is, fear of control. Sometimes we want to control everything, and realizing we can't do it alone. We're not meant to do it alone, right? And doing this in isolation is what the people that are not here are doing, right? You guys, I'm like preaching to the choir, but you guys are doing it together in community with support, with guidance, with a plan, with a map. Can you imagine going somewhere that you've never been before? Let's say Scotland, and you had no map, you had no phone, you had no support, you had nothing. I mean, it'd probably be okay till you got off the plane, and then then what? Right? And so it's one of those paths that we all have to go down and learn that you can have belief in yourself. You can trust yourself. And because of this community, I was able to break the chains free, that I was no longer in bondage to my past, that I could create a legacy of health for myself, for my family, for others. Because I started coaching 10 days into this, I lost 12 pounds, and I felt like, wow, if I can do this, I can help somebody else do this. And that really changed the trajectory of my life, leaving my corporate job and being able to be home for my family and with my family. So if you're sitting here and you're feeling stuck, like you're in that hamster wheel, even though you have tools, I want to talk to you. Okay. I want to talk to those of you who feel like you're spiraling in that self-sabotage loop, like over and over and over. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can rewrite your story because one choice leads, one fueling, eat some protein, take one step towards your future and your future self. Because that one decision to believe in yourself again could change everything. Seriously. So I am going to open it up now and see if anybody has any question. Is if there's anybody that's in that loop of like, yeah, I'll start again on Monday, or I'll start again on, you know, Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to hear from you because I was there. Believe me, I was there. So, okay. And if you are a coach, we love you. We love you, love you, but we spend a lot of time together and we have lots of interaction and engagement in our coaching community. So you can reserve we want to reserve this for clients, right? We want to reserve this time for, for those that are struggling and do need to talk some stuff out and work some stuff out. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I have, like I said, been doing this journey with lots of others for, almost 7 years. I lost 70 pounds. I don't think I mentioned that, but I lost 70 pounds, and it's been quite a journey, but completely transformative, you know? So let me see how to open this thing up and let's chit chat. Okie dokie. Okay. All right. Who is struggling right now? Put a one in the chat. I haven't checked the chat. Oh, let me stop recording. Thank you.